Hello there.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this, okay? I think there's a big chance that the leaks are real. I'm gonna say that before I even get into this fucking video. I think there's a big chance that the Godzilla X Kong the Godzilla X Kong 3 plot leaks are real in some way, shape, or form, or at least have some elements of truth to them. As always, take these leaks with a grain of salt. You never know what is real or what is not anymore. But I am excited for this. I think that this plot leak actually sounds pretty good. So we're going to break it down in this video and discuss everything involving this new Godzilla X Kong 3 plot leak.
Let me break it down for you, Mark.
That is breaking the internet a little bit over on X. So let's get into it.
The Atomic Affair.
Okay guys, there are certain times where a leak comes out about a movie and you are like, this is just complete absolute bullshit. Like pretty much, you know, in my opinion, if we have a movie leak come out and it is just a whole bunch of fan service, like a Godzilla X Kong 3 plot leak saying that Destroya or Space Godzilla are the villain. Those are some leaks that I reported on originally right after Godzilla X Kong The New Empire came out. And it had a little bit too much fan service going on in it, and you can kind of tell when some stuff isn't real. I still am holding out hope and thinking that they're definitely going to be bringing Godzilla Jr. in some way, shape, or form to Godzilla X Kong 3, but this latest plot leak that we have is completely out of left field and actually makes a little bit too much sense for the MonsterVerse, and that is kind of why I am thinking that this is the real deal, or at least has some elements of truth to it, mainly because I just want to have faith in it. Okay guys, no, I'm kidding. Mainly because I think that there's a lot of stuff that they're talking about involving Godzilla X Kong 3 that seem to make sense for like a Hollywood production and seem to kind of make sense for where they've already taken the MonsterVerse. So I am going to get straight into it, and I'm going to discuss the full Godzilla X Kong 3 plot leak according to a leaker over on Reddit and Discord. Now guys, as always, take this with a grain of salt. This is kind of an unknown leaker and is not really somebody who's like very reliable over in the leaking community, even though I do think there are a lot of elements of this leak that could end up being very true for the final product of Godzilla X Kong 3. But according to this, he says, okay guys, brace yourself for this. I've received early info from a credible source with a consistent history. I will copy and paste here what I have been provided. Regardless of credibility, take with a grain of salt as usual, but I'm liking what I hear. Now it says the movie seems action heavy, but a somber tone throughout with serious implications involving the world leaders appointing a new government agency to dismantle Monarch and take over Hollow Earth operations with the ultimate goal of collapsing it and effectively sealing the monsters away once and for all after the destructive events of GXK and the revelation of undocumented portals in the Hollow Earth. So it sounds like the world governments would want to seal off this Hollow Earth to the rest of the world so that the Titans can no longer access the main Earth, which would make a lot of sense.
That's good.
But I do think that this is kind of could be a little bit fan fiction-y, only because this is like a little bit too close to something that was already covered in the Godzilla X Kong The New Empire novel, which implied that the world governments are wanting to potentially invade the Hollow Earth and do something about the Titans. However, on the freaking flip side, it also kind of reinforces it because it was already hinted at in the Godzilla X Kong novel. Now it says the antagonist this go around is actually an enraged Godzilla and the government agency responsible for upsetting the balance of nature. Shimo returns for a cameo but is subdued by the military in the Hollow Earth through new anti-Titan weaponry and the use of mechanized zombie titans. Now, I'm going to pause there. Zombie titans could very well include creatures like Gigan, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. Including skull crawlers, this angers the great apes in the Hollow Earth who see the humans as tyrants, no different than Scar King. Kong is especially angered by the use of reanimated skull crawlers. That makes a ton of sense. Cameos of multiple titans battling the military for ultimately being destroyed and subdued. Suko returns and serves to break up the darker tone with comedic relief moments lightly sprinkled throughout. Kong's arc shares similarities with Godzilla, but where they diverge is Kong struggles with his choice to continue coexisting with humanity, where Godzilla is seemingly at his wit's end and ready for war. That sounds exactly like the MonsterVerse Godzilla and what's already been fucking brewing up in Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, with Godzilla getting more and more progressively frustrated with humans, even swatting at helicopters like they're flies. Kong has an epic scene battling the military in a major city. Godzilla is surprise attacked by the military while sleeping in the Roman Colosseum and battles through the military and their zombie titans. Godzilla settled into his new form. It's stated his dorsal plates have straightened out and hardened and his bulk has returned. Mothra returns and even has a brief battle with Godzilla and Kong as she chooses not to forsake humanity. It is through hers and Monarch/Gia's intervention that they convince Kong and later Godzilla that humanity is still worth fighting for. Ending seems hopeful that humanity will work towards cleaning up the Earth so they can coexist with it and Titans like in ancient times once more. I received little other tidbits of info here and there, but these were presented the most clearly. So I'm really torn with this leak.
What the fuck is this? I don't know.
Because like I feel like it could be real and I feel like it could be fake at the same time, and there are so many things about it that make me feel like it's real and that make me feel like it's fake. A lot of the stuff that makes me feel like it's real is it follows perfectly with the trajectory that we have already seen established in the MonsterVerse with how these titans are handled and how they approach dealing with these titans, things that were already hinted in the Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire novel, and things that have already kind of been done by Monarch, like them having their own skull crawlers to fight Mechagodzilla, kind of using them like a bait, you know, for Mechagodzilla to attack in an experimental way. So it would make sense that they could have mechanized skull crawlers, and we've also already seen this in the MonsterVerse lore in the form of other pieces of entertainment that have shown what looks to be like mecha skull crawlers or mechanized skull crawlers. Now with them creating zombie titans, I feel like that's just like a bit of an exaggerative term, but in a way it would seem like they're controlling titans and then, you know, like reanimating their body and then putting like mechanized pieces on them and turning them into enhanced versions of the creatures they were before. That would sound a lot like something we've already seen with Gigan. I just think when you use the term zombie titans, it throws a lot of people off and makes people feel like it's too fantastical and too extreme, but it's really not, guys. A lot of this stuff would just make so much sense for the MonsterVerse. Godzilla's design, I think that's pretty exciting to hear if that ends up being true. It sounds like pretty on par with what we're already going to see in this movie no matter what. I feel like anybody could already guess that that is going to happen with Godzilla. It sounds like Godzilla is going to have a more prominent spotlight in this next movie, and it sounds like Godzilla is going to be going apeshit and actually becoming a little evil, maybe giving hints at the Godzilla -1 version of Godzilla and kind of taking some inspiration from, you know, almost the most successful version of Godzilla, right up there with the MonsterVerse and the Heisei versions of Godzilla. You know, taking some notes from -1 Godzilla, implementing that into the MonsterVerse Godzilla with him turning on humanity a little bit and becoming once again a force of nature ready to take down the humans, and then having Kong be the sympathetic one who tries to stop Godzilla, and also having Mothra come back in. All of that makes so much sense for the MonsterVerse, and I think that if this ends up being the film that we get, the general premise of it sounds great. Of course, execution is what matters most, and we'll have to see what the story is like as we get closer to the film, but I for sure think that this leak is a lot closer to what we'll end up seeing in the final product of Godzilla X Kong 3, and I'm hoping that we get a big upgrade on the CGI, which early reports on this movie have already indicated that as well. So comment down below, guys. Let me know what you think about this huge MonsterVerse leak. This is by far the biggest plot leak that we have gotten for this movie yet. Of course, take it with a grain of salt. It does come from a random Discord user, but as always, with the leaks that are real, you can kind of tell from afar that there's some elements of truth in them. So comment down below, let me know what you guys think about my thoughts on the video, let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know what you think about this new Godzilla X Kong leak. So until the next video, guys, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.
I'll be here when you get back. Not coming back, Chief.